Something has clearly changed in Chicago. And if the past few games are any indication, the Chicago Cubs offense has officially come alive. After spending the early part of the season searching for rhythm, consistency, and timely hitting, the Cubs are now exploding at the plate in a way that has fans and analysts taking serious notice. Their latest statement came in a dominant 12-4 victory over the New York Mets at the legendary Wrigley Field, a game that perfectly showcased the depth, power, and balance of this lineup. For weeks, Cubs manager Craig Counsell and his players had been repeating the same message: it will turn. And now, it has. What we're witnessing isn't just a good game or a lucky stretch, it's a full offensive breakout. Chicago has now scored 10 or more runs in 3 consecutive games, something they haven't done since 2019. Even more impressive, they've scored at least 7 runs in 5 straight games, placing this stretch among some of the most productive offensive runs in franchise history. This isn't just about 1 or 2 players getting hot, it's about the entire lineup clicking at once. From top to bottom, every hitter is contributing, creating a relentless offensive attack that's incredibly difficult for opposing pitchers to contain. As Counsell pointed out, the strength of this team lies in the length of the lineup. There are no easy outs. Every spot in the batting order is capable of producing runs, and that kind of depth is what separates good teams from great ones. Leading the charge is Nico Hoerner, who continues to build on an incredible start to the season. Fresh off a stretch where he went 5 for 11 with 8 RBIs, Hoerner added another standout performance, including a powerful 2-run home run that energized the crowd and set the tone early. His consistency at the plate has been a major factor in the Cubs' recent success, and he's quickly becoming one of the most reliable hitters in the lineup. But Hoerner wasn't alone. Rising star Moisés Ballesteros delivered one of the biggest moments of the game with a 3-run home run in the first inning. That early blast gave Chicago a commanding lead and immediately put the Mets on the defensive. It was Ballesteros' 3rd home run of the season, and it highlighted his growing impact as a key contributor in this lineup. The offensive explosion continued throughout the game. Seiya Suzuki got things started with an RBI single, while Matt Shaw added a clutch run-scoring double later in the game. Dansby Swanson chipped in with a sacrifice fly, and Ian Happ capped off the scoring with a 2-run home run in the 8th inning. It was a complete team effort, exactly the kind of performance the Cubs have been waiting for. What makes this surge even more impressive is how dramatically things have changed in such a short time. Just days ago, the Cubs were struggling with runners in scoring position, going 1 for 15 in a tough loss to the Pirates. At that point, their offensive numbers were among the worst in the league, with a low batting average and limited run production. But since then, everything has flipped. Over the past 5 games, Chicago has scored 47 runs, an average of 9.4 per game, and is hitting an incredible .353 with runners in scoring position. That kind of turnaround doesn't happen by accident. It's the result of adjustments, confidence, and trust within the lineup. Players are sticking to their approach, making better decisions at the plate, and supporting each other through every inning. As Happ pointed out, one of the biggest advantages of a deep lineup is that no single player has to carry the entire load. If one player has an off day, someone else steps up, and that's exactly what we're seeing from this Cubs team. On the mound, Edward Cabrera provided a solid performance, allowing 3 runs over 6 innings. While the offense stole the spotlight, Cabrera's ability to keep the Mets in check ensured that Chicago maintained control of the game from start to finish. For the Mets, it was a difficult afternoon. Facing a Cubs lineup firing on all cylinders, even talented pitchers like Kodai Senga struggled to contain the damage. Once Chicago built its early lead, it never looked back, continuing to apply pressure inning after inning. As the Cubs move forward, the big question is whether they can sustain this level of production. If they can, they have the potential to become one of the most dangerous offenses in baseball. The combination of power, consistency, and depth makes them a serious threat, not just in individual games, but over the course of a long season. In the end, this game was more than just a win. It was a statement that the Cubs offense has arrived, that their patience has paid off, and that this team is ready to compete at a high level. And if this momentum continues, Chicago fans could be in for a very exciting season.